Not that money itself is the root of all evil, but it's taught us that money is bad.
So please take it away from me so that I don't mess it up.
You're not always going to have perfect environment. And so I want to train myself to be stronger than the Doritos. So it's why I call damn the Doritos.
Some people think I'm going to find hacks. I'm going to find ways to trick myself. And you've talked about this before. And you've said, I'm not going to put my alarm clock outside of the room or something so that I have to trick myself in thinking that when the alarm gets up, the only reason why I'm getting up is because I put it in another room. Therefore, I have to create an environment no different than damn the Doritos, right? Where the conditions have to be perfect. So if I end up on a cruise ship with an all-you-can-eat buffet and the alarm, the snooze is right next to me because there's nowhere else for it to go, then my whole routine and my whole motivation is out the window. Now nothing works because the conditions aren't perfect. That's what I see a lot of people struggling to believe, especially when it comes to getting out of debt or building wealth. They have this, even this belief around, I have to have guardrails up around me or I might sabotage this for myself. So please take it away from me so that I don't mess it up. And what we try to do is empower people with the information to be able to do this themselves, to make confident and educated moves, strategic moves, that they know that they're making a good decision. A decision that says, there aren't any other options other than for you to be successful because that's the choice that you're making. And you know why you're making that choice, not just for you, but for your future self too, for your grandkids or the great-grandkids that haven't even been born yet. Not even a twinkle in someone's eye. Your why is so strong that you believe it, you can see it, and that therefore dictates your the development of those habits, right? There are millions of people that follow you, and not because of hacks or tips or tricks. It's thought leadership, right? And it's different.
Yeah, I mean, you're delving now into the more difficult to connect with areas of some of my message, which it's always fun to talk about. I don't have anything inherently against hacks and tips, and I'm always looking for ways to hack different things. My caveat is I want to make decisions that make me feel better about myself. And if a hack helps me achieve a goal faster, cool. I'm all for it. Let's go do it. I'm sure there's all sorts of hacks for like how we're lighting this room and microphone and all that stuff. Awesome. Where I struggle is the hacks that, especially the mental hacks, where I feel, and this may not be as prescriptive, so it may not be advice that other people can take as easily. And it's not necessarily meant to be, it's just what I do. If I feel like I'm doing a mental hack on myself and it makes me feel worse about myself, then I want to kill it. So the don't put the alarm clock in the bedroom is a common thing. A lot of my contemporaries will say that, put it in your kitchen so you're kind of forced to get out of bed. And I get it, and I think, that makes sense. The way that my weird brain interprets that is I'm not capable of just having it next to me, turning it off. And I don't like that feeling. I don't like telling myself. It means to me, how I interpret that is every night. Now I don't even wake up to an alarm clock, but every night, like the last thing you do before you go to bed is say, I am not capable of doing this, so I'm gonna do this thing instead. I don't like that feeling. I don't like me telling myself I can't do something. And that's how I interpret that action, in which it's what meaning you assign to things, right? So other people may not assign that meaning, and so like whatever, do it. That's how I assign the meaning. The damn the Doritos strategy you mentioned, I've got this big bag of Doritos behind me in my office that I see every day, and I love Doritos. Like even as I'm thinking about the bag, my mouth is watering. I want to eat the Doritos. It's amazing. And I think to your point, when you go on a cruise ship or office party or whatever, then you just eat all the food because you've trained yourself to only be compliant in a perfect environment. But life isn't perfect. You're not always going to have perfect environment. And so I want to train myself to be stronger than the Doritos, which is why I call damn the Doritos. And people ask me, does Doritos sponsor your videos? Can't you get a healthier sponsor? It's like if Doritos knew why I was having it, they would never want to sponsor my videos.
Right.
Because it's there. I look at the bag and it's a reminder to myself that I'm awesome for not eating the Doritos. And so I do weird things like that whenever if it's a mental trick that makes me feel weak, I want to crush it. If it's a different hack or trick, gear or something else that's going to make my life better, awesome. I mean, all for it. Another one is nervous versus excited. You know, people say, a lot of my contemporaries, like big names, will say, don't say you're nervous, say you're excited. Because it's the same sensation. Your palms get sweaty, your heart gets racing. Feeling, if you had to describe what feeling nervous was and describe what feeling excited was, the same physical sensations. So tell yourself you're excited, not nervous. And it's probably great advice for most people. I think I'm the weird one that my advice is not as good, because it seems to be working for these other people. It's like, okay, great. But for me, I don't like the mental gymnastics. It's like, that means I'm not capable of doing things that make me nervous. Yeah. But everything that I want in my life is on the other side of me doing things that make me nervous. If I never do things that make me nervous, I'm never gonna grow and get the life that I want. And so I don't want the identity of who is Evan Carmichael for myself. Whatever other people think, cool. But for me, when I look at myself, I don't want to be the person who has to flip it to excited to get me to take action. I want to do the thing because I'm nervous. And I want to be proud of myself for doing things that make me nervous or scary or difficult or hard. And so scary, difficult, hard are my trigger words. I call them play bigger triggers, where if I say it, think it, do it, feel it, scary, difficult, hard, I have to do it. Just because I said it and I felt it. Even if it has nothing to do with belief or my purpose, because I don't want being nervous or scary, difficult, hard to, it can no longer be a good enough reason for me not to take action.
Gosh, that's powerful.
But it's harder to, like, that's a weird one to be able to connect with. That's a lot harder. That's maybe advanced class, or just not even like that's better. It's just weird class, weird duck class. Join me in the weird pond over there. That may not be something that everybody can consume or would even help them in their life. But
the meaning that you assign to things, though,
really matters. Yeah, it's like, I think that the checkpoint is, do you feel better about yourself for doing this? Like, do you feel more confident? Do you have more self-belief because you're doing this versus the opposite, right? And so that's where a trick is. Like, I never liked the excited nerve. I couldn't figure out why. It's working for these people. These are people that I work with, colleagues, people who have done a lot more than me in some instances, and they're saying this. Like, why does it not land with me? I don't get it. And then that was why, because the meaning I assigned to it was that means I'm avoiding things that make me nervous. I don't like that feeling. I don't want to be that person. So I'm going to go and I do things that make me nervous. Yeah. And I don't like the excited thing. But to your point about the belief that it's possible, or the belief that I can do it, I think is how you said it. The step just before that might make it a little bit easier, you talk about building a bridge, is the belief that you can figure it out. You may not have to believe that you can do it, but you can believe that you can figure it out. And so my wife helped me design this t-shirt a bunch of years ago, where it's this bird that's, there's a tree and there's a bird that's kind of out on like the far branch. It's like a really skinny branch. And the bird's just kind of chilling there. And the message is something like, the bird isn't afraid of the branch breaking because her trust is not in the branch, but in her wings. So even if the branch breaks, she'll be fine, she'll fly. It's like, it's just the belief that you can figure it out. Where a lot of these things seem scary until you just start doing something. One of the entrepreneurs I invested into, Alex, he helps me run Toronto Dance Salsa. It's the largest salsa dance school in Canada, maybe North America. It's how I met my wife.
Wow, right.
And we have a lease in a commercial space. It's 6 figures a year to have this space, just in rent, and it's coming up for renewal. And I did the last one. And it's okay. You're Alex. You now negotiate the renewal here. Like, you negotiate the lease. Like, oh my God, I don't know how to do this. I don't know what I'm doing. What should I look for? And say, well, so he had no belief in his ability to be able to negotiate this lease. So okay, it's fine. But how much research have you done on this at all? How many articles have you read? How many videos have you watched? How many podcasts? It's all online now. This, like, the amount of information, whatever problem you want to solve, it's out there. And so he said, well, nothing. Like, okay, great. So solve that problem. Like, go spend 15 minutes watching a video to educate yourself. A lot of the things that people come to you that are feared, they're just afraid to even look at it.
Yeah.
We're in a 15-minute video, a half an hour video, a phone call, like you can learn so much. And so he watched one video about a martial arts school where the guy was explaining how to negotiate the lease. And then he sent me this video. I was like, okay, what did you learn from it? And he listed like all these points of what he learned. It's like, great. For 15 minutes of your time, now you have a little more belief that you can figure this out. Now spend more time, right? So for all of these problems that people are coming to you for as well, just, it's so scary, it's so impossible that they spend zero time just looking at the problem saying, okay, I can figure this out. And just taking the first steps. Because talking about money and thinking about money is scary, and we probably learned it from our parents, and they were probably terrible with money, and they probably didn't have a great nest egg and figure out their retirement really well. And so we've inherited all these beliefs about money. But you don't have to, those beliefs are not true. You can change them. You just need to get educated. And education is not difficult, and it doesn't have to take that much time. Now, it doesn't mean you have to go be Warren Buffett and be the expert, right? But we're not trying to solve a Warren Buffett level problem. We're trying to help you retire early. Like, it's tons of people have done it. You don't have to be Warhol or Kanye or Shakespeare.
We, I think, also have been conditioned to believe that we have to have permission. We have to have a box checked. We have to have somebody help us instill the confidence that we know something or that we can do something, that it's okay to move forward and do it. And I think for a large part of our audience, that initial step is just getting their numbers together, and that's scary for a lot of people. They've never done that before. Some of them learn in that moment that they're operating at a negative cash flow. And that's scary to go, wow, this is my aha moment.
Progress starts with telling the truth. And so a lot of people are not, especially when it comes to finances, are not willing to stare at the truth and then start to make progress. I don't think most people have a healthy view on money growing up. Some people think money is everything. And like that next person walking in, that's my next handbag, or that's my next suit, or that's my next vacation, or whatever. And you're just treating like it's a transaction. And others, and most people I think would be, well, money is the root of all evil, right? It's actually not money is the root of all evil. It's the love of money is the root of all evil. That's the part people miss. Yeah. Like it's the love of money that's the root of all evil, not that money itself is the root of all evil. But it's taught us that money is bad. And it's not, it's a tool. You need money. Everybody needs money. Charities need money. Nothing operates without money. You need to have money. But it's just not number one. It's not number one either. Above money needs to be the purpose. What's your mission? What are you trying to create? Who are you trying to serve? Whether you're an entrepreneur like me and have a giant mission, or just someone like my wife who's not entrepreneurial, doesn't have a huge mission, but she serves the 25 closest people to her. She's the glue for our family. That's her purpose. But there has to be something above money, but it can't be number 1,000 on your list too. So it's got to be in your top 5, but it just can't be number 1. And so part of learning about money is getting educated on it. And again, it's not that hard. Like a call with your team opens up a ton of eyes. Watching one YouTube video, it opens up a ton of eyes. And so you can quickly make progress if you just tell yourself the truth. And the truth doesn't have to be, well, I suck at this. But you don't necessarily even need to have the belief that you can do it. Just the belief that you can figure it out. And that little distinction of like, okay, I'm the bird on the tree, and I figured out lots of things before. Whatever I spend time on, I've gotten better at, and everybody has proof in their life of whatever you've spent time on, you've gotten better at whatever skill. You may not be very successful financially, but you're good at other things because you spent time on it. Why are you not successful with money? Well, how much time have you spent with money? Nothing, probably, right? You're just trying to avoid it. So go educate yourself. And then again, you can pick it up pretty quickly. Talk with your team, watch videos, read books. You don't have to, again, be Warren Buffett to create a plan for yourself to be able to retire early.
Let's go to 2001.
Uh-oh, what happened in 2001? You're gonna tell me.
Biotech, perfectionism.
Yeah.
and a $40 million anchor moment.
I was too embarrassed to tell them I had no money. But like I thought banks like helped you grow a business. So you can't really help me. He's like, no. It's like, oh, okay. Oh, what do I do? Like that, I thought that was just the way.